The story begins with Lu Miao, a restless girl, somewhat shy, but with an energy that not just anyone can keep up with. She has just arrived at a new school and, from the very first moment, makes it clear that she is not the type to enter through the main door if she can invent a stranger path. Instead of walking calmly like everyone else, she prefers moving across rooftops and hidden hallways to avoid Jiang Haoyue, a very popular boy who is always bothering her and with whom she has a rather complicated relationship. Jiang Haoyue is about to discover her when Lu Miao tries to escape by climbing over a wall. But just when it seems she is going to fall, he catches her. For a second, everything becomes strange between them. She gets nervous, he does too, and it becomes clear that underneath all those jokes and fights, there is a tension neither of them knows how to handle well. Jiang Haoyue asks her to stop hiding from him, as if it hurts him that she always wants to keep her distance. But Lu Miao does not want others to see them together, so each of them ends up going their own way, pretending that nothing happened. Later, they meet on the bus. Lu Miao tries to take a photo of him and, as always, bothers him with a mocking nickname. Jiang Haoyue sits beside her, and when she falls asleep, he lets her rest her head on his shoulder. That small gesture gives him away. No matter how much he behaves like an annoying boy in front of everyone, he actually cares about her very much. The problem is that his way of showing it is terrible. The next day, he sticks on her back a photo he took of her while she was sleeping. Lu Miao walks happily without realizing it, and when she arrives at school, everyone starts laughing. When she discovers the photo, she becomes so furious that she ends up tearing Xie Zai's notes, provoking a look full of rage that reminds her of old wounds. There, we understand Lu Miao a little better. As a child, she suffered bullying and had to learn to defend herself by force. She did not grow up being delicate just because life forced her to fight so they would leave her alone. That is why she blames Jiang Haoyue for her bad luck, even though he tries to encourage her with clumsy speeches that do not always come out well. To her, he is a boring and annoying boy. But when she hears other girls say that he is cute and that they would love to get close to him, she feels a strange annoyance she cannot explain. It is jealousy, although she still does not want to admit it. One day, while practicing a speech in an empty classroom, she trips, gets tangled up with a curtain, and even ends up running away from a policeman. In the middle of the chaos, she loses her camera. Jiang Haoyue recovers it and, as he often does, ends up taking the blame to protect her. Later, it is discovered that Lu Miao was locked inside, and instead of opening right away, he starts taking photos of her while she screams to get out. In the end, they are discovered and the principal punishes them. Although they argue, Jiang Haoyue worries when she trips and crouches down to tie her shoelaces with so much tenderness that the others start asking if they are dating. Jiang Haoyue's life, however, is much more painful than it seems. His relationship with his father is tense, and the situation gets worse when some thugs try to attack his family. Later, those same boys go looking for Jiang Haoyue to get revenge. They beat him harshly, and there his secret is exposed. He has a prosthetic leg. He tries to stay strong and not let himself be humiliated, but when the attackers are about to hit him with an iron bar, Lu Miao appears and steps in, demanding that they leave him alone. Lu Miao tries to help him, but Jiang Haoyue rejects her hand because he does not want her to see him weak. However, when one of the thugs goes after her, he gets in the middle and takes the blows to protect her. That situation overwhelms him so much that he almost loses control, but Lu Miao manages to stop him and hugs him tightly. In that moment, the whole facade of jokes falls apart a little. Jiang Haoyue takes her home, asks her not to cry, and both decide to keep the incident a secret. But when the pain in his leg becomes unbearable, Lu Miao runs to get help. Then Jiang Haoyue's greatest wound is revealed. He lost his leg when he was 9 years old, in a traffic accident where Lu Miao's father was behind the wheel. To save his life, they had to amputate it, and since then, Lu Miao's father promised to protect him. It was during that stage that Jiang Haoyue met Lu Miao, and she became a kind of light for him. That is why their bond is so strong and also so complicated. Between them there is affection, guilt, memories, and an emotional dependence that comes from very far back. After making peace, they both return to school together, and the rumor that they are dating spreads quickly. A group of girls gives Lu Miao love letters for Jiang Haoyue and asks what she thinks of him. She does not know how to answer, but reading those letters makes her uncomfortable. When she discovers that some of them want to get too close, she gets jealous without being able to help it. Later, when some students make fun of Jiang Haoyue's leg, Lu Miao decides to take revenge in her own way. She sends them fake letters to set up a meeting, locks them in a classroom, and scares them by pretending to be a ghost. She makes it clear that if they bother Jiang Haoyue again, next time it will not be a simple prank. Jiang Haoyue does not react the way she expected. Instead of thanking her, He gets upset because he does not want her to defend him that way. Lu Miao is offended because she was only trying to help him. But he apologizes, and they are fine again. She gives him an amulet that protected her when she was a child, although he rejects it because he knows it is very important to her. Even so, Lu Miao slips it into his backpack without him noticing. When Jiang Haoyue discovers it, he is deeply moved and falls a little more in love, although as always, he tries to hide it. Then Shi appears, a new student and a Naruto fan just like Lu Miao. He approaches her with a huge smile, and it is immediately obvious that he is interested in her. Jiang Haoyue, who studies at another school, starts feeling jealous from afar, especially when he sees a photo of Lu Miao with Shi. To make matters worse, Shi also has problems with his father, the principal, because he wants to play basketball and his father considers it a waste of time. As an act of rebellion, he dyes his hair red. That free attitude catches Lu Miao's attention, although she hides from Jiang Haoyue that she has met such a striking boy. Jiang Haoyue wins a chemistry competition using Lu Miao's amulet as if it were his personal good luck charm. But his joy does not last long when he sees Shi near her. Jealousy pushes him to become more attentive and more possessive. At school, Chu Wei, the smartest boy, challenges him to a chemistry exam. Lu Miao worries because she fears Jiang Haoyue will make a fool of himself, so she tries to study to help him. Since she does not understand anything, she comes up with a terrible idea: stealing the exam questions with Shi. Jiang Haoyue discovers part of the plan and, when he sees them eating ice cream together, leaves full of jealousy. That night, Lu Miao and Shi sneak into the school to get the answers, but everything gets complicated and they end up being chased. Shi manages to give the material to Lu Miao, but Jiang Haoyue tears up the answers because he refuses to cheat. In the end, they are discovered by the cameras and everyone ends up punished. Afterward, they study together for real. Lu Miao falls asleep from exhaustion, and Jiang Haoyue, in a mix of tenderness and mischief, draws notes on her face so she will remember what they studied. But Jiang Haoyue demands too much of himself. He studies without sleeping, his leg starts to hurt, and he gets a fever. Lu Miao worries and takes him to a place that is special to her, hoping he can clear his mind. There, he can breathe a little and forget the pressure. Later, when someone steps on his prosthetic leg on the bus, Lu Miao decides to find a way to help him get around better. She learns to ride a bicycle so she can carry him, although she falls again and again. Jiang Haoyue gets jealous seeing her practice with Shi, not knowing that she only uses him as a test because he weighs about the same as him. When Shi accidentally reveals that Lu Miao was learning to ride a bicycle for Jiang Haoyue, he runs to look for her, wanting to hug her. However, at home he finds his father drunk, and they argue about money. Jiang Haoyue feels trapped by a life he did not choose. Lu Miao manages to calm him and takes him to her house, where her parents are excited to see them together. She talks to him through the window, and then they go out on the bicycle. In the end, it is revealed that Jiang Haoyue already knew how to ride, but he said nothing so Lu Miao would get closer to him. That detail annoys her, although it also confirms to her that he wants to be close to her as much as she does to him. Shi's presence continues to bother Jiang Haoyue. Seeing him with Lu Miao, he asks if they are only friends or if there is something more. Then they compete in her favorite video game, and Jiang Haoyue takes advantage of it to beat Shi, as if every match were a battle for Lu Miao's heart. She clarifies that Shi is only her friend, and that calms him. Shortly after, Lu Miao steals one of Jiang Haoyue's earbuds, and he plays a love song, leaving her completely disarmed. The emotional confusion increases with the arrival of Su Dafei, a popular girl who gets too close to Jiang Haoyue because of a problem with her shoes. Lu Miao sees them together and gets jealous, although when she is asked if she is in love, she immediately denies it. Even so, she begins to analyze her relationship with Jiang Haoyue and realizes that she cannot look him in the eyes for more than 5 seconds without getting nervous. She asks him what type of girl he likes, and he says someone with big eyes, a pretty smile, and above all, a good heart. Lu Miao thinks of Su Dafei, but he ends up hinting that he is talking about her. That discovery unsettles her. She wants to look prettier for him, so she steals her mother's makeup and applies it exaggeratedly. Jiang Haoyue does not react the way she expected, and Lu Miao gets frustrated. Then she tries to adjust her uniform to look more grown-up, but he corners her and tells her not to act like someone she is not. She cries and swears she hates him, although everything is fixed when he buys her a new hair clip. Since he is afraid to give it to her, he waits for the right moment. Finally, he gives it to her when a supervisor demands that she tie up her hair, and she understands that, even if he is clumsy, he really does think of her. Jiang Haoyue's birthday approaches, a complicated date because his mother abandoned him on that very day. Lu Miao wants to give him a t-shirt and, since she does not know his size, she tries to measure him clumsily, getting too close. At the same time, there is a school trip, and Jiang Haoyue cannot go. Lu Miao plans to sneak away early to celebrate with him. With Xie Zai's help, she manages to reach his school, but the teacher almost discovers her, so she takes Jiang Haoyue's hand and hides him in a closet. There, between nerves and darkness, they almost kiss. When they are found, Lu Miao explains that she only wanted to celebrate his birthday. For the first time, Jiang Haoyue experiences that day surrounded by people who truly love him. She gives him a card with a heart and remembers that, when they were children and he was in a wheelchair, she also wanted to give him joy. But the peace does not last long. His mother reappears and asks him to go abroad with her. That call opens old wounds, and Jiang Haoyue begins to distance himself from everyone, especially Lu Miao. Su Dafei also tries to take advantage of the confusion and get closer to him. A video spreads where she appears next to Jiang Haoyue reflected in a mirror, and at school there is a supposed legend that says those who are reflected there are destined to love each other. Lu Miao does not believe that and decides to dismantle the lie. She goes to the school at night to investigate, although she ends up getting scared and loses her phone. Jiang Haoyue finds it and runs to look for her, worried. When a box is about to fall on her, he saves her, and both end up in a position far too close. Lu Miao tells him that she has already found her soulmate and that she has him right in front of her, leaving Jiang Haoyue speechless. Later, he fights with his father over his drinking problems. Lu Miao takes him to her house, and her grandparents, with that confidence of older people who say everything without a filter, suggest that they should be boyfriend and girlfriend. Lu Miao gets shy and, under the effect of the drink, ends up letting out how much she likes his eyes and revealing her feelings. But Jiang Haoyue is afraid. The only person he believed loved him, his mother, abandoned him. That is why he fears Lu Miao will also leave him one day. Fear does not stop him from continuing to take care of her. One night, Lu Miao suffers a strong stomachache and calls him desperately. Jiang Haoyue arrives, tries to take her to the hospital, and carries her on his back through the rain, even though his leg hurts. He advances as much as he can, but in the end, he falls exhausted. Shi Che ends up helping take her to the hospital, and Jiang Haoyue feels guilty, as if his leg made him a burden. That feeling pushes him to look for a better leg, but the cost is too high. The story also goes deeper into his accident. Jiang Haoyue was injured because, as a child, he ran after his mother the day she abandoned him. The accident with Lu Miao's father took his leg, but it also led him to meet her. That is why he lives mixing resentment and gratitude. At one point, he even tells Lu Miao's father that he destroyed his life, although afterward he regrets it. Because if that accident had not happened, perhaps he would never have met the person who gave him the most light. Meanwhile, Lu Miao faces her own family problems. She discovers that her parents are about to divorce and distances herself from everyone, even Jiang Haoyue. He tries to comfort her, but he does not always know how. On the other hand, his own father loses money gambling, and Jiang Haoyue begins to consider going abroad with his mother. Lu Miao notices that he is studying English and gets angry. He explains that he needs to close wounds with his mother, even if that means moving away from her. The situation gets worse when Lu Miao's grandmother disappears. Jiang Haoyue helps search for her, and surprisingly, it is his father who ends up saving her from some criminals. That makes Jiang Haoyue start looking at him less harshly. Even so, he keeps his decision to leave. Lu Miao feels devastated, and her family tries to comfort her however they can. Jiang Haoyue, for his part, watches videos of their happy moments and says goodbye to the places he shared with her. But when he meets his mother, he receives another blow. She has a new family and offers him to live in a separate apartment, far from his current life, as if she wanted to help him without really integrating him. Jiang Haoyue understands that this woman cannot give him the home he is looking for. Then he remembers that, when she left, the person who was truly by his side was Lu Miao. She was his comfort, his support, his son in the middle of the disaster. Meanwhile, Lu Miao's friends try to convince him to stay, except Shi Che, who secretly wants him to leave so he can have a chance. Shi Che even tries to confess his love to Lu Miao, but everything comes out clumsily. Jiang Haoyue is also ready to say he will stay, but Shi Che's confession throws him off. Curiously, after spending time together, Shi Che and Jiang Haoyue end up growing closer and becoming good friends, because both understand that they want the best for Lu Miao, although in different ways. Lu Miao, sad, gives Jiang Haoyue a bracelet as a memory. Then she goes to her secret place and finds a video on her computer. In it, Jiang Haoyue says that his childhood was happy thanks to her, that his strength was born from her company, and that although his life was difficult, Lu Miao made it bearable. She breaks down when she sees it and shouts that without him, nothing makes sense. Then Jiang Haoyue appears. She hits him for making her suffer, but he tells her he will stay. He no longer wants to chase a mother who never knew how to love him. He wants to stay with the person who always held him up. Then comes another loss. Lu Miao's grandfather dies. At the funeral, amid so much pain, her parents reconcile, understanding that life is too short to waste it away from those you love. Jiang Haoyue's mother also comes back to look for him, but he rejects her. She insists that with his father, he will have no future, but he reproaches her for something that hurt him for years, that she did not even go see him when he was on the verge of death because of the accident. Then he returns the watch he had kept as a memory and finally closes that wound. With time, Jiang Haoyue's father decides to change. He leaves drinking behind, leaves gambling behind, and strives to be better for his son. The families begin to unite, leaving behind guilt and resentment. Afterward, Jiang Haoyue enters university, and Lu Miao gives him a photo to carry on his phone so he will not forget her. The distance becomes difficult. She studies for exams, and he misses her more each day. One day, he goes to see her, finds her asleep, and strokes her face tenderly. When she wakes up, she is so happy that she thinks she is dreaming. But the long-distance relationship is not simple. Jiang Haoyue looks thinner, tired, and with dark circles. He tries to pretend he is fine, but everyone notices that being away from Lu Miao is consuming him. Even so, he encourages her for her final exams. On the day of the exam, Lu Miao brings the wrong admission slip and cannot enter. Desperate, she cries, thinking she lost her chance. Jiang Haoyue runs to her house, looks for the correct document, and because of traffic, takes a bicycle to arrive on time. He pedals with all his strength and manages to deliver it to her. Lu Miao hugs him, grateful, and finally takes the exam. When she discovers that she passed, she runs into his arms. Now she will be able to study in Beijing with him. Later, Jiang Haoyue's father opens a candy shop, fulfilling an old dream, and he helps him as a waiter. Lu Miao hurts her foot, and Jiang Haoyue's father insists that his son carry her. He accepts happily, because being close to her is already part of his happiness. However, Lu Miao's mother sees them and worries about the relationship, especially because Jiang Haoyue is a little older. He confesses that he loves her and promises to take care of her, protect her, and accompany her always. Finally, Jiang Haoyue prepares a beach vacation to confess his love to her in a special way. But their friends show up and ruin the intimacy a little. Everyone plays, gets wet, and laughs, until he cannot take it anymore and asks them for a moment alone. Lu Miao comments that the day is beautiful, and Jiang Haoyue answers that the beautiful one is her. He takes her hand and tells her he wants to grow old by her side. The two make a promise of love, not as a perfect fantasy, but as the result of years of wounds, support, and shared moments. Years later, Lu Miao returns to that beach. For a moment, she thinks Jiang Haoyue left her waiting, but he appears as always, at the right moment. They have been together for years now, and he gives her a birthday gift, just like when they were younger. He tells her that he wants to be her coat on cold days and her breeze on heavy days. The person who is there when she needs strength, calm, or joy. Because before knowing her, Jiang Haoyue felt that his life was a chain of losses. But Lu Miao taught him that even a life struck by pain can feel beautiful again when someone looks at you with true love. This is how this story ends, with two people who grew up together, saved each other from many wounds, and discovered that love does not always arrive like a perfect fairy tale, but is constant company that helps you keep walking. A beautiful part of this whole journey is that neither of them changes all at once. Lu Miao remains impulsive, playful, and somewhat clumsy when expressing what she feels. Many times she wants to help and ends up creating a bigger problem, because her first instinct is always to act before thinking. But she also learns to look at Jiang Haoyue better. Before, she only saw the boy who bothered her, who embarrassed her and made her nervous. Little by little, she understands that behind those jokes is someone who has lived with fear, abandonment, physical pain, and enormous insecurity. Jiang Haoyue, for his part, learns that he does not need to act strong all the time. He can accept help without feeling lesser. He can let Lu Miao see his wounds without thinking that this will drive her away. Shi Che also has an important role, even though he does not end up with the girl. At first, he arrives as a rival, with that cheerful boy energy that seems freer than everyone else. He likes Lu Miao, makes her laugh, and gives Jiang Haoyue an involuntary push to stop hiding his feelings. But Shi Che is not just a third person stuck in the middle. He also has his own conflicts with his father and his way of searching for a place. When he gets close to Jiang Haoyue, he understands that you do not always win by competing. Sometimes loving someone also means respecting the person that someone chose. That is why his friendship with Jang Hao-yue feels unexpected, but quite beautiful. They both go from looking at each other like enemies to supporting each other from a different place. Xie Zai and the other friends function as that group that, although sometimes they get involved where no one called them, ends up pushing the story forward. They are the ones who invent plans, give somewhat questionable advice, and help Lu Miao when she does not know what to do with so much accumulated feeling. Thanks to them, many heavy scenes become lighter. Because yes, the series has youthful romance, but it also talks about broken families, disability, abandonment, and guilt. If everything were pure drama, it would hurt too much. That is why those moments of friendship, games, jokes, and clumsiness serve to balance the heart of the story. It is also important how the subject of Jang Hao-yue's leg is treated. For many students, it is a reason to mock him, and that shows how cruel people can be when they do not understand someone else's pain. But to Lu Miao, that leg never defines who he is. She gets angry when others humiliate him, not because she sees him as defenseless, but because she knows no one has the right to reduce him to a wound. Jang Hao-yue needs time to understand that. At first, he believes his disability makes him insufficient and that because of it, he will not be able to protect Lu Miao the way he would like. But with time, he understands that love is not about being invincible. It is about being there, even when one arrives limping, tired, or afraid. The relationship between their parents also contributes a lot. Lu Miao's father lives trapped in guilt over the accident. He wants to repair something that cannot be undone, and that promise to take care of Jang Hao-yue weighs on everyone. Jang Hao-yue's father, on the other hand, seems lost between vices, frustrations, and poverty, but he is not a monster. He is a broken man who needs to hit rock bottom in order to change. When he finally decides to leave his bad habits behind and open his candy shop, it feels like a small family victory. It does not solve the entire past, but it proves that it is still possible to choose better. And that is, in the end, what makes Lu Miao and Jang Hao-yue's romance work. They do not love each other because everything is easy. They love each other because they have seen the worst of each other and still decide to stay. She saw him vulnerable, furious, and scared. He saw her sad, jealous, impulsive, and confused. Neither completely idealizes the other. Rather, they learn to love each other with their flaws included. That is why, when they reach the beach and promise to be together, it does not seem like a pretty phrase thrown into the air. It seems like a promise they earned with every fall, every argument, every secret, and every time one ran to save the other. The story also leaves a very clear feeling. Growing up hurts, but it does not necessarily have to be done alone. Lu Miao and Jang Hao-yue begin as two teenagers who do not know how to say what they feel without turning it into a fight. They end as two people capable of looking at each other directly and admitting that they need each other. Between accidents, jealousy, exams, goodbyes, complicated parents, and university dreams, what remains is a relationship built with patience. And even if life continues bringing problems, both understand that true love does not erase scars, but it can make them stop hurting so much. That is why the ending does not feel like an exaggerated fantasy, but like the natural closure of two lives that grew intertwined. Jang Hao-yue finds a home where before he only saw abandonment, and Lu Miao discovers that loving does not mean losing herself, but walking with someone who also wants to see her shine. Their story begins with jokes, escapes, and misunderstandings, but ends up becoming a refuge. And that is exactly why it is so tender, because it shows that sometimes the person who irritates you the most is the same one who ends up knowing your wounds better than anyone and still decides to stay. In the end, that is what turns their love into something simple, imperfect, and very beautiful to remember. Always. End of the drama.